Yo, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm just doing a little update on the truck and what I've been up to on it. Last week was pretty busy with some customer projects and work around the shop, so didn't really get too much done on it. Some stuff that I did get done, I'm about to show it, so let's get into it. So I got the axle cleaned up. Surprisingly, it took quite a bit longer than I expected. The axle did have, the spring purchase, the shock mount, and then what else did it have? The traction bar back here. So, each side had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs to get cut out and then cleaned up. So that was, total of 12 tabs or so. Pretty time consuming, to get them all nice and flush. Then after that, I went over with the DA sander and with the wire wheel. I can still clean it up a little bit more, but there wasn't a need for that quite yet. So got that done. I can't remember how far into the frame cleaning I was at in the last video. So got it all wire wheeled, and the wire wheel was taking quite some time, so ended up using this. Not quite sure what it's called, but yeah, used that, and then I did both sides. Other than the top on this side, I haven't done the top on this side. I still have to finish cutting these off, both sides, then these two. But the reason I haven't finished these is because I've been thinking about maybe just chopping up the frame right here, but I'm not sure. So I have to do a little bit of thinking on that. And then, so axle, frame pretty much ready to go. Oh, and then I also made this little template with some ram board for the C-notch that the frame's getting. You can kind of see it right there to get that cut out. And then I've been working on these Ruffstuff trailing arms. Surprisingly, they've taken a little bit longer than I expected as well. Again, some of this stuff is taking longer than I expect because it's my first time building a truck like this, so I'm going into it, not knowing what to expect. So I'm used to doing some easier fab work, so usually I think about it, start cutting material, and get it done pretty quick. But something like this, it is taking a little longer than I expect myself to take on it, but it is what it is. I'm learning, I'm enjoying it. At the end of the day, it's all gonna be worth it. So when I received the 4-link kit from Ruffstuff, the main tubes do not come pre-notched, so spend some time notching both tubes, making sure that we're all even. Then after that, what's after that? So notch the tubes, got those welded on there, and then you do have to grind some of the weld down so this top piece can sit flush. And same thing over on this side. Weld the adapter for the Heim on there, and then you have to weld down the top weld, or grind down the top weld for this to sit flush on there. So this one's not tacked yet on the only the front and back, but this one's stacked all the way around. I'm about to get started on welding these up. But one issue that I did run into was the inside piece that they come with, which is this one. It's bent up a little too early. So the issue that I had was my bypass was sitting back here. So, god damn, sorry. So here's how it's supposed to sit. Okay, this one, this will go like that, yeah. So let me pull this one out real quick so we can compare them. So I ended up making this one, and then this is one that it comes with. As you can see, this one is, it bends pretty, it's not very long for the bottom piece. So the issue that I had was, I'm glad I tested this out before welding it on there. You can kind of see a slight mark right there. Well, my bypass was hitting right there. So then I had to make my own one. And so then what I did is I pretty much just used some of the same measurements. I just made this bottom piece a little longer. And so then that way, this would sit further into the trailing arm itself. So, let's see if we'll go in there. I wouldn't have to hammer it in, so I'm not going to. But you can kind of see it was sitting back here. So now, right there, they're right at the end, in the same spot, but there's quite a bit of a difference, especially back here. So yeah, and I put that little middle bend, or somewhat middle bend, in there so it would sit further into the tube. I have both of them made. I just have to finish cutting this one out. Same thing. But yeah, let's see. Some tips I'm gonna give you guys in case, at some point you end up building some of these trailing arms is what I use to make sure these were all nice and square and even, because that's the most important part. You want them to be as close as even as possible. Was I put the main tube on the clamp, and then once it was on the clamp, what's it called? Let's use this one. I made sure the body was like vertical. You can kind of see right now it's just been sitting there, so it's not 100% perfect. And then once I did that, then I threw this one on there. And then, like I said, that one's slightly off, so this one's also off. But once it's on there, so after I notched everything up and I welded this one on here, before welding this one on there, what I did was I threw the body on. I'm calling this the body. I'm not sure what it's called. I'm just calling it the body. I threw it on there. I just sat it on top of the tube. Made this, square. And then threw the level on top of the, the bushing sleeve or whatever. And then made that square to the body. And then once that was good, what I did was I put a little tack on the top up here, and then I grabbed the big square and so I can do it with one hand. Kind of threw it on top of the or over the bushing sleeve, and made sure that the gap was even on both sides. So right there you can see it's a pretty even gap all the way down. So and that way you know that that bushing sleeve is square with the rest of the trailing arm. And then the other thing that I did was to make sure that the both trailing arms were the same. I used a measuring tape, threw it on there, and measured to what the what it was from the bushing to the first hole, which is 27 3/4. And then I just made sure both sides were the same. 27 3/4 on both. And yeah. And I know Ruffstuff Specialties has their own video on making assembling these. But the people that made that video, they do this on the daily for a living. For someone that that's never done this, or it's their first time doing it, or you're just looking for some tips. I hope that helps. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on welding these, and I'm gonna set up the phone on the tripod. And I know this is just a little update video. Hopefully you enjoy it. Like I said before, if you like the video, if you enjoyed it, maybe leave a like. If you know anyone else that likes Prerunner stuff or just off-road stuff in general, feel free to share the video. And I'm gonna try to continue to stay busy on the truck since it's hard with some jobs and stuff. But I'm gonna try to stay busy. I want to get it done before early March. So let's see if we can get it done. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you later.